It's your boy Wits Capone, back with another video. Come on. And today I'm going to be talking about my childhood experiences, innit? This one's going to be a little bit of a hard video to do, but you get me, man's going to do it anyway, because you see me, man don't hide my problems away from people, innit? You get me? I feel like you lot are part of my family, the subscribers them, so you get me? Let me just go through, you get me? And yeah, man, so literally in terms of my childhood, yeah, I'd done a video previously similar to this, but this is a video basically going into it in depth, innit? You get me? So obviously I grew up in North London. Obviously I still live in North London, still live in Islington and that, but just not in N5. You get me? Now I live more N1, but it's still technically Islington. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so obviously I used to live on a road called Peverton Road back in the day. You get me? Which was in N5. You feel me? Literally, like, I have so much memories from that house here. It's unbelievable. And I feel like in terms of me and my family, we've come a long way as well. Because literally, in that house, them times, we was living in a 1-bedroom house, bruv. You get me? So imagine, yeah, me and my 2 brothers, we shared one room. Literally, we shared one room. That's how tough times were, innit? But my mum always made sure that things were patterned. You get me? She made sure that there was food on the table. She made sure we had clothes. Not even just normal clothes, but school clothes. So we had school uniform to wear to go to school, all of that. She made sure when we were going out, we was looking the part, presentable, all of that. You get me? And my mum has really tried her very best from the very beginning. That's why sometimes when she says to me, she feels like she's a shit mother, I'm like, don't say that, because I've literally seen her, like, do the maddest for a very long time. Do you know what I mean? And the least I can do for her is to show her that I understand by investing in myself, my family, and her. Get me? She's part of my family, but you get what I'm trying to say. You get me? And yeah, like, growing up, I used to live with my dad growing up, innit? Because my mum and dad were together when it was just me, especially. So obviously growing up now, my dad was very present in my life around these times. Obviously, the way I used to look up to my dad back in the day, I used to look at him like he was a hero, innit? You know, when you're young, you're a daddy's boy and that, you're thinking, nah, like, your dad can't put no foot wrong. Like, he's literally Superman in your eyes, innit? Every time, well, a lot of the time, especially like when it was like holidays and stuff, 6 weeks holidays and stuff, we used to go to a park called Clissold Park. It's kind of like you're going towards Manor House a little bit, but yeah, like that sort of place, that sort of part of Islington. So yeah, like, we used to go there. Sometimes me and my boys will go there. Sometimes my cousins, Tim and Daniel, we'll go there, we'll kick ball, like, competitive, everything. I just loved everything about those times, innit? You get me? Then it got to times when it got to times where my mum and my dad weren't seeing eye to eye. So, you get me? They weren't no longer together. But obviously, my dad has other kids, not just me, innit? He's got like a daughter and some that I'm not aware of, innit? I don't know, but I know he's definitely got a daughter. You get me? Because the daughter has contacted me before. You get me? Cool. So, from that moment when my mum and my dad broke up, he started moving weird towards me. You get me? He started moving weird towards me. It went from him treating me as first best to all of a sudden treating me like I'm second best in, like, almost every scenario you can think of. He would put me last, and then he'll put his other kids first. And that's because, like, for whatever reason that's because my mum wasn't letting him do certain things anymore. So he probably said to himself, if that's the case, then I'm just going to stop being a good dad, innit? Basically. So yeah, it was like, to me, that's just all a madness, innit? Because I'm not gonna lie, as a little kid, yeah, that traumatized me a lot growing up. That even till this day, there's still a lot of things that traumatize me till this day. For example, there'll be times when my mum and dad used to get into it and argue. And I'm not gonna lie, these times my little brothers were young. So obviously I'm the oldest. So remember, I've seen a lot of things. So I remember there was twice where my dad put his hands on my mum, innit? I can't remember the first reason, but I remember him putting his hands on my mum. I'm like, what the fuck you doing there? Don't put your hands on my mum. Because to me, everyone that knows me knows I value my mum highly, and I always post my mum on social media. So everyone says, "Rah, you always love your mum." Yeah, that's because I care about my mum, you get me? And I hold my mum in high regards. And I would always put my mum above anyone. Literally. Because my mum literally looked after me from young and always had faith in me when no one else like did. Do you know what I mean? So cool now. I remember he put his hands on my mum now. I'm there thinking, rah. But obviously I'm a youth. So I'm thinking, do I do something or not? Not in terms of like second guessing whether I'm going to do it, but in terms of, am I going to get beat up? Because these times I'm young. So I was kind of half-hearted about the situation, do you get? But I still stepped in, punched him in the face, he dropped. I'm like, rah, like, what you doing? Like, you can't be hitting a female. Like, what are you playing at? And imagine, this is somebody that I literally saw as my hero. I literally saw as Superman, like I said before, innit? Obviously now, I punched him, he drops now, he's all telling me, rah, like, what the fuck you doing? Then in my language, he's like, Kwasia, why are you touching me? I'm like, because you're touching my mum. What else do you expect? If someone's touching your mum and your mum and dad are getting into it, who you gonna back, your mum or your dad? Your mum. You get me? More time. You get it? Cool. So obviously he's trying to touch me. My mum's trying to diffuse the situation now. He's all telling me, nah, move. I'm like, nah, listen, let go. He can do his worst to me, innit? I don't fucking care. I will do anything. I'll go through hell and back to protect my mum, innit? My mum's my mum. You only have one mum on this earth, fam. Cool. That was the first time. The second time, funny enough, was when my mum was having my mum literally came to this house to like decorate the house so we can move in and stuff. Do you get it? So cool now, we've come to this house now. I'm helping my mum paint all the walls and whatnot. Just being a good son, innit? You get it? Helping out my mum like as you would do. Cool. We're painting the rooms. We're adding decorations to the place. All that stuff. Just making the house look. Just making us feel at home. Like, you know when you move from a different house to another house, you want to make your imprint in the yard by decorating it, making yourself feel at home. You get it? And my mum is someone that, if you know her, she loves her flowers. She loves red as well. My mum loves red. You get me? Cool. So obviously now we've done what we've done now. Cool. We've come back to the yard now, which is the old house in N5. He's all trying to G-check my mum. Where have you gone for so long? Do you not feel the need that if you're going to be somewhere, you can at least call me to let me know where you are? I was like, rah, dad, you're moving unreasonable, innit? Because, you get me? My mum's literally doing this. As a man, that should be your job to use your initiative to be like, nah, I shouldn't have to let my oldest son have to do that. As a man, and as the man of the house at the time, you should use your initiative and be like, nah, rah, I shouldn't let my son do that. It should be me that's helping my wife do that. Do you get it? Cool. So I stepped in and I was like, nah, you can't talk to my mum like that. You get me? I'm not going to stand for that and let you just chat to my mum anyhow, like she's a piece of dirt on the floor, bruv. Nah, it's not that thing. You get it? Cool. So obviously now, randomly my mum's walking back out of the you get me, out of the corridor. My dad just attacks my mum. I'm there thinking, bruv, where the fuck, like, are you alright, fam? And these times I was a little bit older. So these times the fear wasn't there like the first time when I was moving half-hearted about it. So me and him are scrapping. Obviously, man swipes him on the ground now. He's like, raw, you're a big man now, yeah, you're a big man now, yeah. What? You're saying you can step up to man now because you're a big man. I'm like, listen, I'm not scared of you, and I ain't been scared of you for a long time. Do you get it? Man ain't been scared of you for a long time. And that day, because the first time when I stood up to him, it wasn't like that. But the second time, even him himself, he was shocked. He was thinking, raw. Like, I can tell by his face, he didn't expect me to back my mum like the way I did. Do you get it? Cool. So I remember that day, obviously feds got involved. Like, you get me? You know how Africans are, like, they believe in the feds and all of that mentality. Cool. Not me. Obviously, I'm never talking to feds. Never in life. You must be mad. But cool. So they came now. I think it was like in the morning or something. They came now and they were all asking him, why did you put your hands on your wife? And most importantly, why are you raising your hands on your child? You get me? So obviously they took him out the yard. They told him it's either he moves out the yard or he's gonna get arrested, innit? Cool. But obviously, because my man is hard of hearing, my man said, nah, let me come to the yard again, like, unannounced. So my man came to the yard again, and obviously these times I was still a bit young, so when he pressed the bell, he told me to open it. So obviously man opened it now. Then obviously he calls my mum saying, he's back at the yard now, rete. Then my mum was like to him, raw, like, I thought I told you to cut, bruv. If I come back and you're still at the yard, man's gonna move recce, innit? Cool. So my man's just there, chilling there, not taking my mum seriously now. Then the feds came again. And they literally had him, like, near like a police van, innit? But obviously these times, I'm a youth, bruv. Man's crying. Even though I've backed my mum, I'm still crying, innit? Because remember, I said, growing up, I looked up to my dad differently, innit? Do you get it? So even though I was backing my mum, which I would do in any situation, it was still hard for me at the same time dealing with these things. Which, I'm not going to lie, till this day, I still deal with the trauma. You get me? Cool. Not even just that. I remember as well when I first met my cousin Nana that lives in Tottenham. Obviously, I'm not going to bait it out exactly where he lives in that. But I remember the very first time I went there. I think I went there with my auntie. One of my aunties, innit? Back in the day. So I remember I went to the yard. And he must have been in his sister's room, innit? You get me? And obviously these times I was hella shy. Like when I was younger, man was hella shy. I was shy like for days. So obviously I came into the room now. Obviously the game he was playing, it looked enjoyable to me, and I was like, rah. So I asked him, rah, what game is that? He's like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, innit? Cool. Started banging it out for time. You know when you know you're into a game when you bang it out 8 hours religiously, bruv. You know them ones there, because them times that I could bang game for the longest. Cool. So obviously we started to get more tight and stuff. Get me? The more we was chilling, we started to get more closer and closer and closer. Cool. Then we started playing games like LMA Manager together, Football Manager, Saints Row. You get me? Like all them games. They even Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi, all of that. You get me? We used to have movie nights with him, Sally, his other sister Emily, all of that. Like those were the days, man. You get me? Even times where his mum and dad used to work at a corner shop. They used to bring us like hella snacks afterwards as well. We would use those snacks to watch our movies, all of that. Like those were the days, innit? You get me? Cool. So obviously now what changed? Obviously we were still close for a period of time. But what changed was I had another cousin, but he was just a year older than me, innit? But he came to the country in 2011, innit? You get me? Obviously, I'm not going to go into specifics like that. But yeah, he came to the country in 2011. I remember, like, when he first came and that, Like, you know, someone that comes from a different country, they're happy to be in the country and that rare clear, cool. You know how it goes. Then when he got used to it, yeah, even one time he was telling me, I'm not going to bait out the area, but one time he was telling me when he first started sixth form and that, he got robbed, innit? We went Tommy Moore. Well, at the time he went Tommy Moore. I wasn't at Tommy Moore them times. So part of the reason why I went Tommy Moore was because of him and because of my cousin Nana, innit? You get it? So basically what was gonna happen was I was planning to do the football course at St. Aloysius, but that course I wanted to do, they stopped doing it at Aloysius. So I said, nah, you know what? It would make sense if man does the football course at Tommy Moore, because both of my cousins are there. I'm not going to feel out of place, and I'm just going to do my thing, play my football, learn, do my coursework, all of that. You get it? Cool. So, and like, as well, like, my cousin picked up very quickly on the culture. Like, me and my cousin used to go out bare places, blood. Me and my cousin, we used to shut down bare parties. So you know that song, Fordo Coming? Let me see your Fordo Coming. That tune there, yeah? Me, Kelvin, Henry, all of that. We used to shut down bare raves to that tune back in the day. Man don't really go out nowadays, innit? Because I'm trying to pattern my thing. But back in the day, man used to go out religiously. Like, every single, well, not every single weekend, but most weekends, man will go out. That's part of the reason why man's bait, and man's got a big following on Insta and all these other social media platforms. That's part of the reason, innit? You get me? And even the time when I went to go link my ex in Hoxton at the time, she was my girl at the time, he was even there, bruv. You get me? So even we've linked gal together as well, bruv. We've linked gal together as well. I remember one time, these two things from South, I think they lived in like Tulse Hill at the time, innit? These two things came from South now. So obviously, we went to go like pick them up. And obviously the girl was like, raw, we should meet them at the bus stop, rare tier. Cool, we met them now. We brought them to the yard now. And obviously we had like alcohol, innit? I can't remember what alcohol it was, but we had alcohol chilling in the crib and that. Then obviously we went into the living room now. Then we was like to the girls, raw, like, do you want something to drink, innit? Cool. Gave them something to drink now. We're playing 21 Dares and that, I dare you to, now it goes, innit? And you see me, I've been the sort of person where I'm a confident person. I've been confident from Wade. You get me? I wasn't as confident when I was younger. But as I got older, the more confident I became, innit? You get me? So cool, we're playing now. And obviously, you know when you're playing 21 dares, the more you're going on, the more the dares get intense and like even more intense. So cool, I'm taking the girl now because these times man's on volts. You get me? Man's on volts these times. So I'm telling her, you know what? She was wearing a crop top, innit? It was like summer and that. I was like, to take off your crop top, innit? You get me? Like, man can suck some tutu breast and that. You get me? Cool. So obviously now man's sucking her breast and that. My cousin next to me is dying, fam. He's thinking, raw, swear Dan, that's what you're on, yeah? I'm like, yeah, like, you get me? Like, man's on antics still. See me, I'm not the sort of guy to say I'm on stuff, but then when it comes to it, I'm moving mad. You get it? Cool. So obviously now, his thing that he came with, because I kind of knew the other thing anyway. Do you get it? I kind of knew the other girl. So he said to me, raw, he's taken the girl that he came with, even though we all came together. He's like, oh, he's taking her upstairs, innit? So obviously I acted like man's going upstairs to get one or two things. All I'm hearing is my man piping. I'm like, nah, man needs to regulate my thing as well. Yeah, cool. So I've gone back to the living room. I've gone back to the sitting room now. Obviously, she's giving man brizz and that. They get me, giving my neck and that. Cool. Afterwards, I took it out when my thing was, you get me, lubed up and that. Because obviously, when she gives you brain, her saliva and all of that's on it. So it's technically like lube, innit? You get me? Cool. Don't fucking kill me. So obviously now, man inserts it now. Piping her. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the time, man don't bust quick, innit? I'm not the sort of person to bust quick. But you see, that time there, man bust quick. It was so embarrassing, fam. I was like, what the fuck? You get me? Cool. So she's like feeling bare awkward at this point. But to me, I'm like, fuck it, I've beat. So remember, these times I'm young. So obviously I had that mentality at the time. Not anymore, but I had that mentality then. So I remember, I'm like, raw, like, I don't really care too tough because as long as I've beat, like, I don't care, innit? Like, that's the mentality I had. Cool. So obviously now, we've done our thing. He's done his thing with the girl that he came with as well. So cool now. Obviously we get into the car now. We drop them back to Tulse Hill, but they thought we was gonna drop them back into the estate bit. Me and my cousin are like, no way. You get me? Especially them times, because we was dropping them back home late. I'm talking like, I think it was probably like midnight or something. Or just before midnight, one of the two. So cool now, we've dropped them off now. These times, this is when we used to bang Bagel King differently. You get me? We used to bang Bagel King differently. If we didn't bang the bagel thing with the jerk thing, we used to bang out the apple crumble with the custard. Bagel King's apple crumble and custard, elite. If you know, you know, innit? Cool. And like, it's not even just that. Even my birthday party where I rubbed out, I'm not even gonna lie, yeah. See my cousin Kelvin? Like, I salute him, man, because he's done a lot for me, you get me? Even, for example, starting this YouTube thing. He's the one, because I remember I've done this YouTube thing before. I used to have a channel back in the day that was called Whittles World, didn't it? But obviously, I was just doing it as a hobby then. I wasn't really trying to pursue it as a career, like a main career, do you get it? Whereas now, man's trying to do it because I'm taking it seriously, if that makes sense. And obviously, right now, man don't really have the equipment and all of that, but everything's a gradual process, innit? You can't really rush things. So me, I'm just going with the flow. You get me? But at the same time, in due time, man's gonna pattern my camera quality, all of that. You get it? Cool. So I remember the flipping my party, which was the AP. Basically, me and my cousin, we went halves, innit? We booked it, but the owner at the time, like I said in a previous video when I was talking about that, the owner was like, yeah, everything's calm, rare tear. So it was getting to the time, I think it was like probably like 2-3 hours before my party started. The owner's moving mad, saying he wants the key back, rare tear. And in them sort of situations, things get techie, so you kind of have to like return the key, like, get whether you like it or not. So obviously that day he was playing football prior in the ends. Obviously one Don, I don't want to mention his name, he was like, yeah bro, man's got an AP, Ras Clark, you lot can come and use it if you want, innit? You get me? And I was like to my cousin Kelvin, bro, thank you, bro. You get me? Because if it weren't for you, that AP wouldn't have happened, bro. You get me? Because my AP would have been cancelled and I would have been looking rubbed. Because them times, I'm not going to lie, I cared what people think or people thought to a degree. Whereas now, I don't care. I do what I want to do at my own accord. If you don't like it, tough. Because in this life we live in, you can't impress everybody. There's always going to be people that are not happy with you. You get me? And the way I see things, if a lot like people want to chat about things that you're doing, that means you're doing something right to some capacity, at least. Do you get me? So, yeah, man, literally, man, I appreciate Kelvin for that. Not even just that, like, even there's been times, yeah, when I've been bare low, no one to turn to. You get me? And he's always been there for, man. You get me? He's always been there for, man, from the beginning. There's even been times where I've been kicked out my yard. You get me? Obviously, I'm not going to go into it like that, but I've been kicked out my yard. There's been times, even points in my life where I've lived with him, bro. I've lived with my cousin Kelvin. He's looked after, man. He's made sure, man's, at some points, I've had clothes on my back. Even times where man got kicked out my yard, I went flipping, you get me? Man went flipping cells and that. Like I said, I don't want to go into it too tough, but I went cells for like a day and a bit. My cousin, the one that I was close with at the time, and then him, he was there in the car. they were chatting to me. They're like, "Raw, no, Will, you have to pattern up, bro." And you see people like that in your life, people like that, you need them. See, when you're going out of place, they are the sort of people that care about you, and they're gonna make sure that you're patterned. You get me? Because those are the sort of people that want to see you do well, not people. Because one thing about me, whether you're a cousin, whether you're a friend, I like someone that tells me the harsh reality. Whether I'm in the right, whether I'm in the wrong, tell me. You get me? I don't want friends that are yes men. I can't stand that. You get me? Don't just say yes because you're my friend. No, because body language means a lot. I can tell if someone's lying to me or not. Do you get it? So, yeah, man, literally, that's why it's important to have those sort of people in your life that will motivate you, as well as you motivating yourself as well as an individual. Because I can't lie, my cousin, especially Kelvin, he's part of the reason why I see things differently now. Because I'm not going to lie, like, how long ago was this? Probably like a year, 2 years ago. I used to always doubt myself, even though I was a confident person outdoors. When it came to just me, I'm doubting myself on hella things. I don't have potential in nothing. He said to me, "Nah, bro, you can't think like that, bro. Put yourself out there. Bro, you have a personality. You're funny, fam. Use that to your advantage. Because there's going to be people out there that rock with your content differently. Do you get it?" So I was just like, bro, you know what? You're right, you know. Let me just use what you said to me and use that to my advantage and pattern up. You get me? So, yeah, man. Like I said, I appreciate Kelvin each and every time, and I always have love for him. You get me? So when I make it big, you're one of the people that man's going to eat with. You get me? You're one of the people man's going to eat with. Because literally, man's grown up with you from the very, not from the very beginning, but since 2011, man's grown up with you, bro. And that's a long time ago. So I've literally spent like half of my childhood with you, or living with you. Same thing, you've been kicked out a couple times as well. You get me? You stayed in my room. I've made you at home as well too. You get me? We've ordered food together. We've ate. We've slept on the same Ross Clark bed. You get me? All of that. So, see people like that? That's what you call priceless love, innit? You get me? Like, there's no condition on the love. But yeah, man, literally, this was a video I thought I would do for the subscribers, them and all of that. Let you know some personal stuff. Because me, I'm not scared. I don't hide nothing. You get me? And yeah, before you go, make sure to stick a like on this video. Share my video with your friends and family. Let me know in the comments as well what you enjoyed about this video. Things you would like to see me bring to the channel. And yeah, man, just share my videos on socials. Whether it will be WhatsApp, Instagram, like Snapchat, all that good stuff. It would help, innit? And also it would help with YouTube's algorithms, and it would help make my video pop up on people's YouTube recommended, innit? So yeah, man, other than that, it's been your boy Wits Capone, and I'm out.